Welcome back, and today we are doing a video here. We're getting straight into it today. Looking at printmaking today. I am using Daler-Rowney oil paints, so it's a bit untraditional. I've been printing already. You can see my colour mixes here. They have been a bit crazy, a bit hectic. I'm doing monoprinting, that's the technique today. You can see me here using the roller just to roll it randomly on the board to get different textures and mixtures of the paint. Oil paint doesn't apply the same as oil ink for printmaking, so that's just something to keep in mind here. And my oil paints are also very, very old. They're like 5 or 6 years old, so they're separated from the binder. The pigment's a bit random, but yeah, we're getting into it. And I'm just grabbing a piece of paper here, just random A3, no particular type of paper here. Setting it up on the press, lining it up and putting it through. It's just a rolling through press, pretty good setup. This is just at my course, so the facilities are pretty good for printmaking. And this is me just checking the print to make sure it looks alright, and here we go. It is pretty good. It's got some interesting textures and colours. You can kind of see me giving you a close-up here, and it's quite interesting. And these are other prints that I've been doing as well. And yeah, just putting it on the drying rack so I can use it to print on later. So I'm continuing onwards, just scraping up the paint that I've put down with the roller. Just going for it really. It's a pretty slow process, but it's quite therapeutic as well, and quite fun to just muck around with, especially since this is something I haven't really done before. You can see here that I actually decide to swap out the palette knife for a bigger one because the other one was just so small and wasn't working right. This is me just mixing up the paints that I've got down, because I'll just scrape that straight onto the board, see the colour and textures that it gets there, and I might as well use it up, you know. So this is me using some paper towels, some Glad wrap as well to get some interesting textures, and I'm trying some hand printing, and you can see the board here. I'm just doing some ghost prints after that, putting it through the press. So a ghost print is where you just print with the ink you've got on the board still. You don't reapply or anything, and you just get an interesting lighter shade of what you've been printing. That was a very roundabout way of explaining a ghost print, but that's alright. So yeah, I decided to do this a few times just because there was so much ink coming off, paint coming off, and you can see me quite enjoying the results. So here it's a bit splotchy, you can kind of see the different colours coming through, and yeah, as you can tell, I am very excited about this. But this is so much easier because you just put the paper down and you roll it through. You don't need to reapply, you can just keep going. And yeah, lots of prints I was able to get here. keep telling myself that I'll just do one more, and then it just kept going and going and going and going. It was just, there was so many prints I could do, you know. So here is actually the last print, and you can see me putting it on the drying rack with the rest of them. Got a few from that ghost print, so I got 6 in total, I believe. And this is just me now cleaning up. So yeah, putting all my paints away, using the methylated spirits to wipe up the printing press, and then I use oil to sit on some of the tools and wipe up first before I go in with the methylated spirits. So the oil is so good to clean the glass, and it is less toxic and smelly. Then I put everything over in the fume cupboard area, where I will use more chemicals to clean it up. Here you can see me, I use the Kero fume, I can't remember the name of it, and then I go in with the methylated spirits, different rag and stuff, to clean the spatulas, things, palette knives, and then the roller as well. For the board, I originally tried methylated spirits, but it didn't actually work. So later I went in with terps, which helped so much, and you can see me here rolling off the dry paint. It's so satisfying. I had to get a close-up of this for you guys. But this is after me trying and erroring lots of different ways to get the paint off. Yeah, this is oil paint dried out really weirdly, because yeah, it's just so old. But it's really satisfying to clean. At least you can see all the chemicals in the background. Yeah, so I just went at it for a while. So this is just you can see the beautifully clean board. Me just doing the last pack up things, putting the paper I put all the chemicals on in a kind of container so that it doesn't reek out the whole print studio. Taking off my gloves very unsuccessfully, which was really sad. And I contemplated life doing this print, to be honest. But yeah, that was all for the day. So for this part of the video, this is in between the two printing sessions I do. This is me cutting out one of the prints I'll be doing, and this is just a landscape I freehanded onto the board, and I actually blocked out where my shadows were with gouache just so I didn't get confused with where I needed to cut. It is just a landscape from memory, from a walk I've done, which is relevant to my theme for the year, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, you can just see me cutting away really, and it's quite satisfying. I find it quite interesting just to see how it's approached, and yeah, then we'll move on to the second part of the printing. Alrighty, so the next day I went back into the studio, and here we are mixing up my grey that I want to use for some flats and for the woodcut I cut last night. So here we are mixing two colours, just a red and a green on the shelf here. There's a lot of inks from the old print factory in Dunedin that was gifted to the course department, which is so lucky. So didn't need to buy any inks here, just using what we've got. This is me showing the final results for the shade that I got. It was almost basically a perfect black, but not a black, you know, it's kind of fancier. This is me printing, well, rolling up the flat piece of wood, just, yeah, rolling it up. It's a bit more controlled compared to yesterday's print, so I am going in a rhythm, trying to go with the motion of the wood to keep it consistent and not as patchy. So there we go, and then we put it down on the press, put some paper over it, and that's how we get the flat rolled through. This is me just giving you a close-up of what the situation's looking like, and then we go straight into a sped-up version of me doing lots of flats and printing them out. So yeah, enjoy this. I get a bit more into the rhythm of it, so it ends up getting a bit faster, but you can slowly see my pile of paper getting closer and closer to being finished. Okay, so the next thing after the flats was actually printing my woodcut onto some of the monoprints from yesterday and onto some white paper. So this is me rolling it up for the first time. So this should be an interesting reveal for all of us, and yeah, you get to see how it prints. I always forget that it flips the image and I drew it straight onto the board, so I didn't have that in mind. So thankfully these are just testers for my main print for this semester, and these are just ideas and drafts, not the actual print I'll be exhibiting. So yeah, just me inking it up, making sure it's going to be dark enough for the press, and yeah, I guess we'll see the results together. Alrighty, so we get to see the reel, and I didn't ink it up enough, which is so sad. It looks really interesting though. I do like the texture of it. Here we have the last few prints going through, and I will be showing you soon what all the prints look like. But before then, thank you so much for watching the video today, and I hope it was interesting, a nice change of pace, and maybe inspiring or something, and helps inform you guys about printmaking. So here's the looks and a closer look at one of the prints. So thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing day.